And we're live.
Yay!
It's so wonderful to be here.
It's almost never just me and you.
I don't think we've ever done it and it wasn't even just me and you for long.
Right? Hey, girl.
Hey, can y'all hear me?
Yeah, what's up?
Nothing much. Just, the day from hell. It's fine. And then I felt bad because, I don't know. Are we live?
Yeah, we're live.
Okay. Hey, everybody. So I'm coming from a day of traveling. I just got back from New York, and in the group chat, the ladies and I were discussing how, it's nice to get rides to and from the airport from family. Like, it's nice in the sense that you don't have to pay for Uber or taxi, but it's also frustrating because you always end up waiting so long to get picked up because family members, they don't know how to act when they pick you up from the airport. They'd be like, oh, yeah, I'll be there. And then you'll be like, okay, so my flight's landed. I have my bags. And they're like, oh, let me leave the house. And you're like, wait a second. Wait.
Let me leave the house.
Wait. I sent you my flight itinerary yesterday.
It's the sending of the flight itinerary that irks me.
Like, you could have looked it up and seen that my flight was on time and that it was landing when it landed.
I actually lie to my dad about my flights.
Really?
Oh my gosh, he gets so irritated because he doesn't like my mom's the parent that looks up the flight number, looks what time, if it's on time, and all that stuff.
Yes.
My dad's not that person. So I'll tell him if my flight lands at 5:40, then I probably tell him my flight lands at 5:20.
Dang.
Normally it works out well and he still is late, but it's more like a 5-minute late. But there has been one or two times where he's had to circle.
Yeah.
And
4 or
he hates
5
the
times.
circle, I assume.
Yes.
Listen. He had to circle 4 or 5 times, and he called me, and he was like, "Where the F are you?" And I'm just like,
yup. They get so upset.
I'm like,
they get so upset.
It's okay because he just believes anything I say, so I just be like, "Oh, they're taking so long at baggage claim. I don't know what to do. I have to get my bags."
That's hilarious.
He still has an attitude, but I don't get cussed out, so.
There are balances to these things.
I feel so bad because I was so mean to my mom when she came to get me.
Oh, no.
I was just kind of that passive aggressive, Karen type of mean where you're not outright disrespectful, but you're just
real close.
You're just I don't really understand why you never look up the flight information to see that it's on time, but that's fine.
So you were being passive aggressive.
And I was like, I'm not mad at you. I'm just mad at the situation.
Listen, kid guilt is a different type of guilt because
gosh.
It's when you're a kid and you feel guilty to your parents, you're like, well, they did something wrong, so I shouldn't have to feel guilty, but then you feel guilty anyway.
Yes, I feel so bad. So by the time she dropped me off, I was like, yeah, I'm just this completely just throws off my whole night, my podcast, picking up the dogs, but it's fine. It is what it is.
Oh my gosh, you were laying it on so thick.
No, but tell me why after she dropped me off and I got my car, I felt horrible. So I wrote her this long text message apologizing.
Oh my God.
Being like, I'm so sorry. I was being mean to you. I really love you, Mommy. I appreciate you for everything you do for me. I was like, God damn it.
Shame.
I know. I was like, it never works out. Being mean to your parents just does not go how you ever think it's going to go. Just doesn't go well.
If you hear paper, I am reworking a couple pages that I realized I printed wrong for these planners. So we're doing that tonight.
And if you hear my dog, it's because she's acting like a psychopath because she got a little rain on her. So she's literally running around upstairs and going back and forth. Normally she barks, but I told her to stop 5 times.
Oh my God.
But now she's irritated as if it's my fault it's raining.
She's like, I'm melting.
Dogs to be fair, she ran out there.
She ran out there. Everyone talks about cats not liking water. No one talks enough about how much dogs hate water.
They don't.
Especially if it gets anywhere near their ears.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah, they're not a fan at all.
What's funny is I programmed I'm gonna say her name because she's gonna activate Alexa
Oh
to
yeah.
remind me every 2 hours to take her to the bathroom. And so the reminder goes, reminder, take Jax out or take Jackie out to the bathroom. And the first couple times she jumped when she heard Jackie and
Yeah.
then kind of put her head down because she's used to me using it. But now when it alerts every 2 hours, she sits up, wags her tail, and looks at me from my bed.
Oh,
Like,
she
Stop
knows
it.
that's her signal
No.
yeah,
now.
because I'm like, hurry up and get up because she's 11 now, so she pees more often than she did when she was just an adult dog. So
Yeah.
there have been
That's crazy.
times where she's peed in the house because she can't hold it, and so I have to take her out more frequently. And so now she hears her
She
talk,
knows.
and she's like,
Oh my
yes.
gosh. She looking
That's
at you like,
hilarious.
okay, move, let's go.
And she gets real irritated when I decide, oh, okay, well, because I'm not always on time with it, so sometimes it'll make the noise and it'll tell me that it's time, and I'll wait like an hour, and so it's off. And so then the next timer will come on. I'm just like, you do not have to use the bathroom. You just don't.
Yeah. She's looking at you like, girl, what's going on?
And she knows she don't got to use the restroom. She's just like, no, but I want to go outside.
She wants to go
That's the
outside.
point.
Yeah.
That thing is synonymous with going outside.
Yep.
How has Alexa trained your dog? I bet.
Listen, I guess because she's old, so she can she already knows like basic stuff. Because I taught her bathroom. Like if she goes outside and plays around too much, I'll say go to the bathroom.
Yes.
And she'll go and actually use it because sometimes she just goes out there, like they'll go out there and just sniff around for like an hour. And I'm just like, no, it's cold. Like go to the bathroom. So because she hears her name and bathroom, she was like, oh, I don't know who's saying it, but okay.
Yeah, Teddy and Tobe are the same way. They know what bathroom means. So when I tell them to go to the bathroom, like when I'm getting annoyed with them and I'm like, go to the bathroom, they go. They hurry up and pee.
That's because like most Black people, y'all talk to y'all dogs like kids.
Yes. I always notice when I'm outside with my dog that I'm the only dog owner actually talking to my dogs.
Right.
So it makes me feel like a creep. I'm like, am I the only person that talks to my dogs? So all these people are just silently walking their dogs. And I'm like, come on, let's go.
Earlier, I took her out and it was pouring even harder, and she ran down the street. Normally I walk her, but it's cold and wet, so I wasn't doing it. And she ran down. Why did I yell? Are you kidding me? She knew what that meant.
They know. They're not dumb. They know exactly what
they've never been stupid.
No. They just pretend to be stupid.
Right.
Like, for real.
So they've never been. So I guess my first question of the day, or let me just go ahead and do this intro real quick.
Okay.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the last Black Prose Club podcast of 2020.
Woo.
Welcome to Black Prose, where Black lives, Black books, and Black authors have always mattered. I am one of your hosts, Brittany, aka Melanin Eclectic.
I'm Oshale of Oshi Reads.
And I'm Troy of Inkfloor Studio.
Today, we are just recapping this year.
I don't even know if I can remember enough to recap.
The thing is, I had to go back and look through our channel.
Good.
Because, like, legit, everything from the past 2 years feels like 1 year.
It does, because of this pandemic. Like, everything just runs into 1 year, legitimately.
Yeah, it's been a very, like, short year, but long year at the same time. It's like we didn't really do much for Black Prose because life was lifing our little asses up.
But at the same time, I feel like we did do a lot.
But that's what I was about to say. I was like, but also we did do a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel
so
like
it was like, dang, look at us. I mean, like, our presence wasn't very consistently active this year, but like that was for mental health purposes. So I feel like it was this very successful year.
I think so. I mean, I think that we're able to maintain and sustain like our level of I guess just our brand. We've sustained like where we're at.
Yeah.
We didn't necessarily advance forward, but we also didn't like decrease.
Yeah, I think we settled for the idea of like, let us just actually do what we plan to do and get through this really, really crappy year.
Right.
Basically.
So, also, I just want to make this clear to everybody. In the year 2022 of the year of Beyonce, me and Troy hung out in person.
Yes, it
In
happened.
person.
In person. And it turns out that she's more of a friend to my friend than I am.
Wait, what? What
Not
happened?
only that, but our families grew up together.
Yeah.
Okay, I was wondering what y'all were talking about in the group chat.
Okay,
Like,
yeah,
what is going on?
we kind of just randomly started speaking in the group chat with Oshale, and I'm sure it was very confusing. Okay.
I was confused, and then I was like, whatever, I can ask him in the chat later.
So what happened was, Brittany's friend, she brought her friend to the what's it called? Truck festival, the food truck festival. And we were talking, and she asked me, where I lived, and I was like, "Oh, I live in Third Ward." And she was like, "Oh, really? Like my family's from Third Ward." And she told me the street they lived on, and asked me to ask my grandma, like, does she know this family? And I was like, "Oh, okay." I didn't think anything of it, but my family Third Ward isn't a huge community, so all the older Black people tend to know each other. So I went home that night, and I asked my grandma. I gave her the last name. She verbatim gave me Brittany's friend's dad's name.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Are you serious?" And she was like, yeah, but ask her to ask her dad if because he's way younger than me, so he would have ran with my brother, which is my uncle that unfortunately passed last year. And so I asked, and she asked her dad, and he's like, "Oh, I grew up with him." Like they grew up together, and he had no idea that my uncle had passed. And so my grandma and I were glad that I met her, because we did our best to tell people that he knew that he passed away, but
you
some
can't
people
get to everybody.
Yeah, and so lo and behold, he grew up with my uncle.
That's crazy.
Right? Super small world.
And what's really crazy is Brittany has been talking about this friend with us forever.
I have. That's the
Have
funny
you?
part about this.
Who is this?
Shout out to Kara, who's more than likely either watching right now or gonna watch it later and comment that she heard her name.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
It is a small ass world, isn't it?
Right?
Yeah. It's just like the more you think about it, it's like, wow, we really are all connected in some shape, form, or fashion, but wasn't planning on them to connect like that.
Right.
Yes. And if it wasn't for this book club, y'all would have never met.
What's crazier is we both went to the same university and majored in the same thing.
Yep.
That's wild.
Isn't that crazy?
My mind is blown.
Yours? How do you think I feel? I was just sitting there like,
What's
fit
going
into
on?
none of this.
Brittany was like, why am I here?
No, she like that though.
I really genuinely was mad that they took too long on my little burrito thing, but other than that, I was done.
Yeah, you were chilling.
Yeah.
Well, that's like a cool little story.
I know.
I love that. I love that for you.
Now we can go back to our normal relationship of seeing each other online.
Oh my God. Y'all are a mess. Y'all don't understand how angry I've been at the fact that they live in the same city and like would never get together. Like it was something that irked me deeply.
No, what would have been really crazy is, for those who don't know, Oshale, because there's no Taylor Swift concert in either of the Carolinas, she's gonna come here. Could you imagine if I would have met Oshale before I met Brittany?
Oh, that would have been a mess.
Not to mention Oshale staying at my house for that. So that would have been the most funniest, awkward thing ever.
I would have been like, what the hell?
Oshale would have been like, if you don't bring your ass to Brittany's house.
Exactly.
Okay, hold on. Because we need to address this right now, okay?
Address what?
An Uber trip to Pearland is $40.
Bro, for real, they went up again?
Wait, is this bad?
Yes.
$40
is not that far away.
Oh, it's
from where Troy lives.
Oh, wow. Even worse that
they are tripping.
It should take me 15 minutes to get to Brittany, but it's but I tried before and I was like, you know what? Let me just go to Pearland Shopping Center. What is that going to say? It said it would cost me $40. I was like, huh?
You know what's sad? These are Uber trips that before inflation and before the pandemic was like $13.
Exactly.
Yeah,
that's what really like kills you in your soul. You're like, damn.
I say all that. We just gonna roll up to Troy's house when Oshale gets here.
That's
it's like we're coming to get you.
Y'all are a mess.
No, See, the thing is 2 out of 3 of this group are introverts.
Yep.
Yes. Well, I feel like I'm an introvert too.
You're a
but
home. No,
not
you're
to
a
the point-
homebody.
You're a homebody.
You're not an
Oh,
introvert.
You don't think I'm an introvert?
No, you're a
No.
homebody.
What?
Definitely not.
There's
Both
a
of y'all are
difference.
like, no. What?
For the simple fact that you don't understand why Brittany and I have yet to meet until like last week tells me all I need to know.
Thank you, because like I had no issue with it. Kara was like, "So wait, y'all have never met?" I was like,
Right?
"No, we're gonna meet her today." She was like, "Seriously?" I was like, "Yeah." She was like, "Are you kidding me, Brittany?" I was like,
I'm with your friend.
"Kara's an extrovert too. That's
I
why
would've
she
been
had the same
shook.
reaction you did."
I would
Can't
like,
relate. Can't
don't y'all
relate.
live 20 minutes from each other? What's going on?
I don't even think it's a full 20 minutes.
I don't
Oh
think it's a
my
full 20
god.
minutes. Because going to Pearland, there's typically not traffic. So
Yeah.
You know what? Let's not talk about this no more.
okay, let's
mad.
talk about the year. Okay, I have a question for you guys. If you
Okay.
guys could put into one word how this year was for you, what would it be?
Oh, can we do a phrase?
You can do a phrase. Go ahead.
Oh my god. I tried to say it like Brittany, but it didn't work out. But
That
would
was
be
really
my
close, though.
That was close. I give you
Okay.
that. That was close.
Yeah, that would be my phrase for the year.
Well,
Just
if we're
like-
doing phrases, mine is "What the hell." That's my phrase.
Legitimately.
Y'all know how Martin, anytime something would happen to him, he would go, damn.
Yes.
That's mine. It was like repeatedly for the full year.
We are just a cheery little group.
Technically, we are cheery. This is making me laugh.
I just don't understand how so many bad things could happen in one year. Like, I'm legitimately just confused as
Mine is
to.
still going. That's the worst part about it. Like, it's determined to make December go out with a bang.
Oh no! It just got to a point where I was just like, "Can we just fast forward to 2023?" Like, I'm just over it at this point.
Yo, that's like my therapist was like, because I will eventually be sharing. I have like one little shining bright moment of good news, but I'm waiting to share that. But my
Ooh.
therapist was like, okay, so like we successfully did this. So like what do you want to happen next? I was like, for everything to stop fucking with me.
I know that's right.
She was like, I need some tangibles. I was like, is that not tangible enough?
Oh my god.
I was like, I am dying. I was like, I'm exhausted. I am physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually
Just
exhausted.
Yeah.
I was like, every time I tell myself it's okay, we made it, we didn't make it.
We did.
So like, I'm tired of lying to myself. So
Oh
can
my
we
God.
get this through?
Not lying to yourself.
Because I'm also trying to run a business, and it's very hard to run a business when the rest of your life is not adding up. So it was like, if I have another year like this year, Melanin Eclectic might have to close.
No.
Because I can't.
No.
No, don't say that.
Boo. Tomato.
Yeah, seriously.
Just
Well,
what it
I
is.
guess I would say, what is the biggest difference business-wise between this year and last year?
My personal life is literally having the time of its life, and not in like the good Disney movie kind of way, but in the like HBO Max, we don't have to filter anything kind of way.
HBO Max.
You know, once it's on HBO, they don't got to censor nothing.
I know. My mind immediately goes to Game of Thrones, rape, bloody war. I'm like, Jesus.
You know, that's a good explanation of what life feels like right now. Feels like war. It's like, I think it was maybe 2 years ago where I was like, yeah, like I really like asked God to like work on me. I know that I should have been way more specific because I didn't put a time frame. I didn't specify. And when I tell you, it has been nothing but absolute shit, personal wise, that led into the point where like, you can't be depressed. It's hard to run a business while you are severely depressed.
Agreed.
So like all of I had 2022 planned out to the T, I cut out multiple releases that I was going to do. The drawings and stuff are still here. There's even some products here that I'm just going to like some of it's getting released for Black Friday, but like collections didn't get released. I was late on the planner. Like I was just late on so many things because it was like when I should be up drawing, like I'm in bed, like just under blankets because like it's too much. So it's like my mental state wasn't in CEO mode. It was just in survival mode.
Yeah.
On top of inflation, this was not a good year for Melanin Eclectic. Also, my camera died, or my camera is broken. So, like, I haven't been posting on YouTube.
I know. I went to your page. Ironically, I stumbled upon BookTube the other day because y'all know I don't watch BookTube no more. But I watch y'all's videos. Like, I'll binge watch them, so I'll wait. And I went to your page, and it was like last video was 3 months ago, and I was like,
yeah, my camera's broken. I'm hoping that Black Friday means that I can get a new camera.
Okay, that's good.
Otherwise, I'm gonna just have to try to figure out how to get this one fixed. I don't know. But yeah, I actually kind of miss making videos. That's the funny part. Like, I actually kind of miss making my little videos. They weren't much, but they made me happy.
Do they kind of make you realize that you actually really still enjoy doing it?
Ironically, yes. I was like, I guess I'm not quitting YouTube because I actually don't like the fact that I haven't recorded any videos.
Yeah, I think that's good.
That is really good.
Like for me, I'm realizing that I didn't realize how much being a creator on YouTube was a huge part of my life until I stopped.
Mm-hmm.
And at the time I stopped, I really needed to stop because I just wasn't enjoying it anymore. Yeah. But I think that taking a whole year off was good for me because now I'm contemplating coming back.
Oh, shit.
Because I'm just like, I didn't realize how much I enjoyed it. And to be honest with you, what made me decide to potentially come back, and you know, I don't mean this in any type of bad way, but Mayana made a video saying that she was leaving BookTube.
Oh shit.
Yes, saying that she was leaving, and she cited very like understandable reasons. You know, she said, you know, the views aren't, you know, where it needs to be versus it's like the amount of work that she puts in versus the views that she actually gets is not worth it.
I've actually seen a lot of videos like that on YouTube lately. Like, it's a lot of people leaving content creation entirely because it's just not giving the money that you need to sustain in this high inflation ass world.
Right. And she brought up a really interesting point that I haven't really seen anyone touch on, but then again, I don't really watch BookTube, so maybe they have, but just how book talk has kind of killed the BookTube community. Because
book
you get
talk is exhausting.
Because, well, you get these girls on book talk who are really pretty and, you know, read like Colleen Hoover or like dark romance or smutty romance, and they'll have one viral video or a series of viral videos, and then they'll start posting on YouTube, but they're posting on like YouTube Shorts.
Yep.
So then they get all these subscribers, and like people start watching their content, and they end up surpassing people who've been on BookTube for years, making reviews, making like dedicated videos about like reading and stuff like that. And so she kind of brought up this point, which is an interesting point, and I would have to think about it a little bit more because I'm not really an avid TikTok user. In a weird way, I feel like almost too old for TikTok in a weird way. Like, I enjoy watching it, but I'm not like a creator on there because I'm just like, I can't. It's too much. It's a lot. I feel too old. I understand that other people my age may not feel that way, but just like the type of content that I enjoy making is more long form, and like the quickness of TikTok can be like very overwhelming for me. So I was just kind of like, yeah, I see where she's going with it. But her talking about leaving the community made me kind of realize that I want to come back to the community because I don't care about, like, I never really cared about, oh, I'm not getting all these views. I mean, of course you care on some level, but I never went into it wanting to be like an influencer or like a huge YouTuber or anything like that. So I was never, you know, depressed about that. My depression was more like, oh my gosh, I'm putting so much work editing this, and I don't know if it's worth it because I'm spending like 12 hours editing. when I could be doing something else.
Venus brought up a good point. She says these lifestyle YouTubers became booktubers and they're getting all the big views. That is so true.
Yes.
Because so
So
many of them
true.
are like doing like, especially on the romance side, most of them are doing like either like 10 books that are going to change your life or like romance books.
Yes, a lot of romance.
And my thing about TikTok as far as book talk is concerned is that there's a lot of like hate that goes towards book talk, and I think it's very understandable, a lot of the hate that it gets. But my thing is that book talk to me is just a shorter version of early YouTube days. Like
Yep.
it's like okay, well, okay, granted, you can also do 10-minute TikToks now, but most people aren't doing 10-minute TikToks.
No,
Most people
they're not. No.
Most people aren't even doing 3 minutes. They're like up one video to like 60-second TikToks, right?
They're very short, yes.
But I mean, a lot of people are like, oh, it's like, all, these girls getting dressed up and getting pretty and talking about 5 books. And I'm just like, so BookTube in 2014.
Ain't that the truth? That's exactly what it was. That's exactly what it was. And so in her video, she was saying that the BookTube community is being destroyed by book talk. And although I feel like her feelings are very valid, on the flip side, I was like, but there's always going to be people that like long form videos and like book reviews and want to sit down and listen to somebody talk about a book. Like those people are always going to be there.
Also, I would like to say that all this, I keep on seeing tweets that are just like, I'm tired of y'all boosting Colleen Hoover. And I'm just like, no, early BookTube days, literally people were trying to tell you guys that Colleen Hoover was trash. Y'all just didn't listen.
But here's the thing.
I didn't even know there was people that liked Colleen Hoover that were younger than their 50s.
Wait a minute. I like Colleen Hoover. I like her I like it.
I never understood the Colleen Hoover hype, but before I even got onto BookTube, I never liked Colleen Hoover, but I didn't know that this was such a big thing.
But here's the thing. Colleen Hoover to me is on the same level as a Sarah J. Maas. I mean, Sarah J. Maas is a little bit higher than her because she's a better writer. But I just feel like it is what it is. Like, why are you going into these books expecting this like deep, deep shit? Like Colleen Hoover literally just writes like overly dramatic, suspend your fucking disbelief because none of this shit would ever happen. Like soap opera-esque type trauma romance porn type stuff. Like it is what it is. Like take it for what it is, enjoy it, leave it. But people are trying to put her on this high pedestal that she was never supposed to be on. She started off self-published. Her first book was literally a bully romance about a girl who gets treated by shit by this dude, and so she falls in love with him. Where are we gonna go from there? Where are we going?
Listen. The girlies on TikTok that be going down for that hill.
Bruh, I was like, y'all spend too much energy on this woman who don't know y'all even exist.
Oh, and also like there's like allegations against her son, so I'm not touching out a 10-foot pole.
I'm not even talking about that. Nope.
There's so much proof out there that she's not that great of a person. Like so many readers have had issues with her. Like there's been so many scandals. I mean, going back like early BookTube days, there have been like whispers about her conduct and her just not being the greatest person. So I just don't understand why people can't either just take it or leave it for what it is. Either separate the author from the work or just leave it. Like it's I don't understand why it's
I don't know. I'm just getting what if Elon Musk really is gonna take Twitter down? hope he takes Twitter down for the simple fact that I'm tired of every 2 days seeing the same argument about Colleen Hoover. I'm tired.
I don't even get on book talk anymore or book Twitter anymore. There was just no point.
No point.
Like, I do want to say though, obviously I look at social media as a business opportunity.
Well, yeah, obviously.
So from a business opportunity, if you're unwilling to adapt to the idea and the studies that are showing that short form is the thing that is popping right now and will probably be for the next 5 years, then you have to accept that you're going to get less.
Yep.
Because you can probably build more of an audience with short form to lead them to your long form.
That's true.
But the generation that's coming up. I mean, I hate sounding like this, but this is just from studies, because obviously, like I said, I look at everything from a business standpoint, and
But
like,
you're right, though. You're
how I
right.
want to fuel my content. The generation that's coming up doesn't do long form. The generation that's coming up wants short, sweet, to the point.
They do. They don't want you to ramble. They don't want you to go on and on.
Right.
They go to podcasts for that. They'll listen to a
I was about to say,
podcast.
I was like, and where I was like, traditionally for us, that was YouTube, but for them, that's podcast. And like listening to people when they're on the go versus sitting at home and just watching a YouTube video. Now, if it's a YouTube video where it's teaching you how to do something,
That's different.
then yes. But if it's just like, oh, I'm reading this book, then instead of you doing the reading vlog that's about 30 to 40 minutes, you need to figure out how to condense that into a 3-minute TikTok. Whether it's music where they actually have to physically look at the phone, or it's a voiceover giving a quick recap of what you're doing, and then in the caption leaving enough information to make them actually want to engage with you in the comments. Like, I'm not going to say that there's no place for you. I'm just saying that without already having a lot of popularity before this shift,
agreed,
it can be difficult to sustain a content creator livable wage.
I agree. And I feel like for a lot of booktubers, I'm sorry, booktube was not the niche of YouTube to become a part of if you wanted to be an influencer. No. It's just not. The booktubers who actually have enough subscribers to be influencers and to live off doing videos are either A, like y'all said, the lifestyle girlies who came over, or the people who make the type of videos where I always see this guy and I like literally do not watch his videos in protest because I think it's annoying that he's like the biggest booktuber. Nothing against him personally, but it just annoys me. But he makes those type of videos where it's like, I read Kendall Jenner's favorite books. I
think I know who you're talking about.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. But yeah, that's honestly the kind of content that would, yeah.
But he's the biggest booktuber.
But you know why?
He's the biggest one.
You know why? If you ever go and look at his channel, look at like, you can look at like his SEO and stuff. He utilizes the hell out of that stuff. Not to mention, he is very particular about like which celebrity is being mentioned at which time. He's really good at it.
No, he's great. Like, I give him his props. I am just like that person that's like protesting on behalf of all the other booktubers that have been here forever. So I'm just like, I'm not gonna watch it.
Oh yeah, no. Like, I feel for the people that have been here paying their dues.
Right.
And with the pandemic, everything has shifted in such a way that like you saw such a boom and such an inspiring moment in 2020, and then 2022 took all of the momentum of 2020 and like threw up all over it.
But here's the thing. I think what Mayana was really getting at in her video, which she didn't come right out and say it, but this is kind of what I got from it as another Black creator and another Black booktuber, is like, it must have been disappointing to get so many followers after the whole Black Lives Matter movement, and how that kind of trickled into the online space and trickled into booktube, how we had been talking about that conversation of Black booktubers not getting views and not getting recommended, and like the algorithm not really recommending our channels.
We have our token Negro we cannot suggest anymore.
Right. Or like you would start your channel at the same time as like a white booktuber, and all of a sudden their channel would take off and yours wouldn't, and all they do is book hauls, stuff like that. And so that conversation had been going on for a while. So when the Black Lives Matter movement began and that kind of trickled over into our space, a lot of Black booktubers got a huge influx of subscribers all of a sudden, all at once. And I'm sure that must be frustrating to go from all these people watching your videos as like a way to absolve themselves of their white guilt, or to try to, I don't even know what they were trying to do. I'm sure some of them were actually genuinely trying to be better, but then there's just like there was a huge group of people that were just like, I'm gonna try.
I call them the guilt. It's the guilt factor. It's what messes up all of your predictions. It messed up all of my sales predictions for 2021. Like, the guilt factor messed up so many of us.
So it must be frustrating to be a creator who got that influx of followers. I never did. I never got the Black Lives Matter boost.
Me neither.
So I just Like
I
wasn't a
did,
part of
and
that.
funnily enough that you guys are saying this, I did get it, but it's only because since you are talking about Mayana ended up at the time we were still following each other on Twitter. She had retweeted a video that I did about Black Lives Matter, and I don't think it's on my page anymore. I actually don't know what's on my booktube right now, but she retweeted it, and when I tell you I went from like 800 to whatever I am at right now, like I'm close to like 2,000 the last time I looked.
Wow.
That was because of that video. And what ended
That's
up happening
insane.
was I was appreciative of it, granted that I'm not saying I wasn't. But what ended up happening is that I was getting hundreds of subscribers in like a week's time. And by the like second or third week of that month, I had gotten to 1,200 subscribers. And I was just like,
That's insane.
this is kind of a lot. But the problem then becomes people don't realize is that YouTube, TikTok, Pinterest, all those things are search engines. So
Yes.
when you then go follow these people and not, click on the video, when you don't watch it, when you don't like it, when you don't comment, it then tells YouTube this woman went and bought these subscribers.
Yep. That's what happened to my channel.
And so
Stop.
backwards, like it didn't make any sense. Like because my Ink Flare Studio right now gets more views at having like, I think I have like 800 or 900 subscribers. I get more views on Ink Flare Studio than I ever have on, what is it called? Bookish Waffler.
Yeah.
Even though Bookish Waffler was close to 2,000 subscribers. And granted, I might have, if I would have rode that wave of it, but I was getting very tired of to the point where I think within a month of that video, I privated it, which is probably why you don't see it anymore. Because I was getting tired of going back and, respond. I really didn't want to respond to half those people, but responding to people about it. I don't even remember what I said in the video, but that was how that ended up happening. And so when that ended up happening, I was like, this, even if I wanted to monetize this one day, it will never be monetized because YouTube is going to think that I am bot.
Yeah, YouTube took my when I finally reached it, YouTube took my monetization away because they basically said that I bought subscribers.
And like, so for her, it must be so frustrating to go from that wave. And she was getting like a ton of views. I remember at the time she was getting thousands of views a video, like lots of engagement. But then as that wave died down and I guess people stopped feeling as guilty and we got further away from everything that was going on, her views declined substantially. And just everything just kind of died down. But the viewership and the subscribership, like the amount of people subscribing, the amount of people watching, liking, interacting with her channel went down substantially. So that's got to be frustrating to watch that happen. I almost
you're
feel
trying
like,
to make it your living.
Well, I almost feel like it's almost better to have not have been part of that wave at all.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which is what happened to me. And like not even experience that roller coaster of like, oh, all these people watching your videos, all these people subscribing, all these people commenting, hi. And then all of a sudden the hype dies down. Like people aren't talking about Black Lives Matter anymore. And then all of a sudden you just get this crash.
Yep. People not buying planners no more because they did their little thing. They don't need to do it no more. They don't need to talk about how much they love you no more because the news cycle changed.
Mm-hmm.
The news cycle changed. We're on to something else now. It's just crazy. I was just like, and so, yeah, I say all that to say, like, watching her video just made me realize, like, I do kind of miss it because I realized that I was making videos purely for the enjoyment.
Yeah. Well, because I plan on focusing more on my Shop Melanin Eclectic Instagram next year, like YouTube is a hobby. Like I want to be in a place where I can talk about books and talk about it like with other people. And at least on my book channel, the engagement that I get, the engagement that I get on my book channel is very genuine. Like it's the same couple people who are happy to tell me if they liked it, they didn't like it, suggest that I read a book because I liked one book, or like, oh, come back to tell me that they read a book because how I talked about it. I'm like, I legit miss my book channel.
something similar to that happened to me a few months ago. I got a DM on what's now Hex Girl Nick, but my Bookstagram of this girl asking me if I remembered her because when I first moved my journals to Inkfleur Studio, she was one of like the first 10 people to subscribe to me. And she doesn't have a picture, she had like a picture of Halsey or something. And so I was just like, I'm in my head, I was like, well, the picture's Halsey, so I don't know. And then I saw her name, and I'm not gonna say her name just because I don't have her permission to do that. But I saw her name, and I was like, wait, yeah, I do. And then I went back and I screenshot because I could remember the early videos that she used to comment on, and I was just like, yeah. And she was just like, because you know how you like you subscribe to a whole bunch of people and then you kind of forget some people, and she was just like, I found your Instagram and I got so excited because I want to go back into journaling, and it was so sweet. I remember her so well. She used to comment on my videos, and I was just like, oh, like I'm listen. I know I shouldn't be, pushing capitalism, but when I get people in the direction,
that's funny.
Facts.
This is real.
But you know what? One of the major things this year that I think has really kind of been pushed to the back burner for me was not only YouTube, but my Etsy shop, which is still not open. It has not been open at this point. I mean, if I go to January, then it's been a year. But so you guys know that I decided to go to Maryland and help my baby sister after she had her new baby.
Yeah, because auntie status on fleek as always.
I kept telling me not to do it, not because there's anything wrong with me doing it or that my sister didn't deserve help or anything like that, but just because I was going on a year of being of my post bachelor's, and I still hadn't really gone anywhere with anything. The job I secured fell through, and so I was broke, and I was just like, no, you know what? I'm always the person, I took care of my younger siblings when I was young. I take care of their kids. I take care of my grandma. Like, you know what? It's always me, so that's fine. I'm going to, do what I always do. I'm going to go up to Mary and I'm going to help her, right? And so I couldn't bring my Cricut with me like I did last summer. And so I was like, you know what? It's fine. I'll just, outsource them. It's no big deal. Fine. When I got to Maryland, I did still have that, idea in my head. But it slowly started to dwindle when I wasn't keeping up with it. And then I would get Etsy to email me saying it's time to pay them. And I would forget. And so I closed it. Well, actually,
wow.
I think what I did was I unlisted a lot of things. And only things I had in stock, I left. But then I, got too busy and I was like, no, I'm just going to unlist everything. I unlisted everything. And I think up until now, there's only like 2 things that are listed right now. But I say all that to say that I don't know when that's going to reopen. Like, listen, I need
It's okay, bro.
Listen.
Yeah, it's okay.
But interestingly, earlier this year, well, no, I guess it was later last year, almost around this time, maybe around December, I got really into doing the little TikTok mini vlogs. Like last year, this time, I wasn't like consistent about doing them. And I would just like, whenever me and my homegirls would go out, I would like do them. But as you two know, a lot happened at the end of last year. So when January rolled around, I made a new TikTok. And I was like, listen, none of my friends have this TikTok. No one is going to have this TikTok. It's just for me.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
I will let my sister, I'll let the club, and I'll let my 2 closest homegirls follow it, but nobody else. I even went and through my contacts blocked all my friends.
Damn.
Couldn't find them. And I was just like, I don't want anyone to say anything about it to me. I just want to enjoy it. And so as you know, I was doing the like really quick TikToks that started like gaining momentum like kind of fast, and I didn't even think they were that nice.
Please, I enjoy your aesthetically pleasing shit.
I know.
Thank you.
The thing is, Troy, you have such an eye and such a gift for that, and I don't know why you don't realize that more.
I don't listen. And so early in the year, I was doing it every time I went out. I was trying to, get over the grief of my uncle and the grief of my friendship breakup, and there was just a lot going on in my life. So when I went to Maryland, And I still did them periodically in Maryland because I think I end up doing more stuff when my sister's around. Because it's my sister, so we're always like, no. She's like, no, we're gonna do this. You said you wanted to do it. You're not gonna punk out. You want to do it, do it. And so I was doing
Sisters.
that a lot, right? But then when I came back home, I didn't have that, you know, person to be like, no, BITCH, you wanted to do this. It's a good idea. Just do it. I wasn't doing it. And like, I don't know if Oshale, you follow me on this account, but I know Brittany does, but I haven't really posted that much. Like I try to here and there, but I don't do it that much. And recently I stayed in bed a lot. Like a lot. And a big part of that is because I've recently thought that I may have jumped the gun in going into my master's because, you know, it had been a year since I graduated and everyone was just kind of like, well, are you going to get a job? Are you going to go to master's? What are you going to do? What are you going to do? What are you going to do? And I wasn't finding work. And so I was just like, well, I guess I'll just get my master's now, even though I wanted to wait a little bit longer, but I did it, and it's been a lot of work, so that's been stressing me out. And y'all, when I tell you guys, my sister is very much that person who believes in astrology. And I'm not saying I don't believe in it, but she believes in it. Okay,
I'm dead.
and so I kept getting all of my horoscopes, y'all, all of them pop up on my timeline,
Lord,
to say that someone in my past was going to reappear. And I'm like, okay, I don't have an ex, so this is bullshit. So I just kind of
I'm glad you immediately thought it was supposed to be an ex.
That was my thought process. I was like, this is stupid. No. And so you know, I was slowly telling Christina, I'm just like, these things are so fake. Like, this is bull. And she was just like, well, makes you think it's a guy? And I'm just like, what do you mean? She's like, it doesn't have to be like an ex. You don't have an ex. I was like, okay, but this is also like a broad reading. What do you mean? And then she was like, oh, what is this, your ex bestie? I was like, there is no coming back into my life. We have each other on all social media. What is there to come back to? And so when I tell you guys, all of a sudden, readings started getting specific. Like they started saying that the person's a fire sign and that you're going to receive a message from them. And I was just like,
oh my God.
And obviously you guys know what I told you happened. Whatever. And I was started getting freaked out a little bit. And so I was just like, so Chris, what happens if I don't listen to the universe? Just out of curiosity.
Oh my Lord.
Oh God.
Your 2023 is going to be ass, man. And
what?
I was like, listen.
And she's like 100% serious about how she feels about this.
I love her to death. She's my favorite human being in the world. But I couldn't take it. I was just like, Pig, I love you so much. But this is how you get in toxic situations.
Oh my God. I know that's the truth. Like, you cannot believe this that much.
I said all that to say that because today's the anniversary of my uncle's passing and, you know, we're going back into the season of all that stuff happening again. I think that's a big reason why I'm feeling so bleh. Like sometimes I can't get out of bed. I'm online shopping way too much.
Yeah, retail therapy is real.
Like also real bad for your budget.
And real bad for your budget and capital in all senses.
Yes.
But yeah, so I'm trying to get back in a headspace where I'm like, you know, I'm doing YouTube videos again and I'm doing TikTok because I don't care about being an influencer. I don't care about making money on it. I just enjoy doing it, which was my whole point in blocking everybody from seeing my stuff. And so I want to get back into it. And I heard this TikTok sound this guy did where he was like, to like get organized and to restart your life. It doesn't have to be that you do like all these big things and like a whole bunch of things. Like you don't need a task list of like 80 things. It could be like the next morning you decide, okay, I'm going to do yoga this morning or I'm going to journal this morning. And you like just like slowly bring stuff back into your life.
Yes.
Atomic Habits.
I have not picked up a journal in 3 months.
Atomic Habits.
And if you've seen me post journaling stuff, it's old stuff.
Listen, they don't even know that.
They do not need to know.
So
all the stuff I've posted in the last couple of months were from months ago.
Listen, I'm trying to slowly get back into those things because I don't, because 2022, like I think the first half started off really nice. I really enjoyed the first half of winter of 2022, and then when we're getting into the spring, I really enjoyed myself. But like summertime, I think I was really like losing my footing a little bit. That was really when 2022 just started going downhill.
Can we talk about how the year always starts off strong and just slowly goes into the
This
shitter?
year went to straight ass for me
Like
pretty
I'm
quickly,
just,
but
but like January, February, like, oh, okay.
No, wait. This January, I threw my birthday party.
That's what I'm saying. Like the
Yeah,
year
no,
always
literally
starts off
everything
strong.
2 days after that just sloped to hell.
Just you're like, wow, damn. I
But
thought
you
I
know
had a
what?
shot this
Maybe
year.
it's because of the like, because granted, us calling things a new year and everything like that, that's just because humans created it. So it's like this
Yes.
feeling of refreshment and like, oh, you're gonna restart, you're gonna do better in life, you're gonna do all these things, and that's great and all, but it's like you
It's not
get to a
realistic.
point where you're like, I saw someone say that it's not, you don't need motivation, you need discipline.
Yep.
Like,
That's good. I
it's
like
not
that.
it's not
I
that
agree.
you need to be motivated 24/7. The TED Talk's not going to discipline you to do anything. You need to learn to discipline yourself. And I don't have no discipline. That's the problem.
I agree with that. But I feel
I
like
believe my new year starts on January 29th. That's how I've always treated it. So as a collective, my entire year was bullshit. And still going. It's just woo.
Yeah, my year always starts with my birthday, which is next week, next Wednesday, FYI, guys.
We know.
Set
What
your
you mean,
reminders.
FYI? We know.
One thing about a Sagittarius, they're going to tell you
Right.
they're a
That
Sagittarius.
was such a Sagittarius thing to say.
Look, I just want to make sure you're aware.
That was
But yeah, I was just like, my new year starts on my birthday, and I feel like every year since 2019 has been a disappointment. So I'm just waiting for when the disappointing cycle is gonna stop.
You mean like you've been disappointed in yourself, or you just feel like all of the things that happen in that year are shit?
I just feel like my life is on pause. I feel like something happened during the pandemic where like the world shifted and the energy of the world is different. And there are just a lot of things that I don't do anymore, or a lot of things that are no longer there, a lot of favorite places that have closed that are very different. Like the world is just different.
The new normal is
the new normal is not that great. And so a lot of my life just feels like it's on hold still. Like a lot of things I enjoyed doing, either they don't exist anymore or they're not the same. And when I go, they're not enjoyable anymore. Also, people are just like a lot meaner. I don't know if y'all have noticed. I already don't like crowds to begin with. Like I don't really like big crowds or crowded places, which is weird because I love going to like places where big crowds are, but I don't like the crowds. It's weird. But I've just noticed that people are just not as nice. People are a lot meaner, and I'm in the South, so that's really saying something because at least down here we pretend to give a damn.
Well, I would like to also say that the bigots really bigoted in these last couple years. So
yes,
that makes sense.
Like the vibe is just off, and I realize, like, I always try to do like an introspective every year where I kind of look back and I try to gather my thoughts and try to figure out like what happened and why I behaved in certain ways and why I responded to things in certain ways. And I realized that I feel like I kind of went into like my little shell, like I was like a little turtle and went into a shell this year, because the vibe of the world has been so off. A lot of times when I go places, this is gonna sound so horrible, y'all, and maybe I'm not the only person that does this, but because of the way the world is right now, whenever I go places, I'm always looking for the exits. I'm always like, if there's an active shooter, what would I do?
Oh yeah,
I'm a military brat. This is how I live.
I grew up in the hood, so I mean,
it's so bad. My friends will be like, "Do you want this seat so you can see the door?" Thank you.
So there are just a lot of things that I can't enjoy in the same way because, and maybe it's also just a sign of getting older, because I think a sign of youth is invincibility. Like when you're young, you feel like you're invincible. You feel like nothing bad's going to happen to you. You take a lot more chances and a lot more risks. Like when I think about my entire like upper teenage years through my 20s, I took a lot of risks and I was like, oh, it'll be fine. Nothing's going to happen.
20s, I was out here being reckless.
Right. You're like, oh, I'll walk down this dark alleyway. It's a shortcut. Everything's going to be fine. No big deal.
I'm good. I got my switchblade, girl.
Now I'm like, OMG, no, I'm going to go around and like add 15 minutes to my trip because there is no way in hell I'm going down that dark alleyway. There's just no way. And it's just, you change. Like the older you get, you feel less invincible and you're more aware.
Going down dark alleyways like a New Yorker thing?
Yeah.
Because I know
we were here. I was like, when the fuck were you going down dark alleys, bro?
All the time. All the time.
I don't get it.
What? Never that. I've never.
This is Houston. We barely have alleys.
Not even in another country would I have gone down a dark alley. I definitely ain't doing it in Houston.
Oh, all the time. And also like before the whole, police officers quitting and like defunding the police and all that, NYPD officers in New York were literally everywhere. So if you went down a dark alleyway, 9 times out of 10, there would be a cop somewhere in the vicinity. So you're like, well, if someone tries to murder me, I'll just start screaming and the NYPD will come.
Okay, listen. I grew up in the hood. I was taught to run away from cops.
I'm not even in the hood, and that was my general reception to cops. So
I feel like it depends.
I knew if I screamed, he would probably shoot me.
New York cops are an interesting breed because some of them are very racist, not gonna lie. And then but I would say the majority of them, they see so much crime and violence every day that a lot of shit they just let slide.
Houston cops are a little bit of a different breed because they'll say like crazy stuff to you.
Yep.
Like really crazy stuff. This one cop, like years and years and years ago, came to our house to tell us to move one of our cars that had been sitting there for a while. And my dad was just like, okay, dude, it's fine. I'll move the car. And he got like really hostile with my dad. And my dad told him to come back without a badge.
What?
And he said, I will.
Sounds about right.
He said, wild. I will. He did not ever show up.
No, he did not. Yeah, I have a love-hate relationship with cops because on one hand, I will be very quick to call 911. And I have told dudes this, like dudes who think I'm a ride or die. I was like, no. I will call the police on you.
I will call the police on you.
I will. Like if you approach me and you're trying to hurt me or you think you're big and bad, my finger is already on the 9. Quickly to be followed by 1-1. Like, don't try me.
Quickly followed by 1-1.
Like, I'm not the one. Like, I'm not. And they're like, oh my God, you gonna turn me in? Black man. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna turn you in. Absolutely. If it's you against me, like your life or mine, I'm picking myself every time. I'm so sorry. You're not my brother. You're not my cousin. You're not a friend. No.
And shit, I'd call the police on them too.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, if they start acting up, like, 911, hello, what is your emergency? Yeah, come get this fool, please. So, I have a love-hate relationship because I'll be quick to call them, but at the same time, like, I don't want their attention,
You know what I realized this year about myself that I don't think I realized? I have this ongoing joke about both of my grandmothers, paternal and maternal. I call them agoraphobic, and they are agoraphobic. But granted, what my paternal grandmother has spent the last 20 years taking care of her dementia-ridden mother, and then my other grandmother had a stroke in the mid-2000s, and so she's always in the house. Mm-hmm. And so you stay in the house that long and don't go nowhere, you become agoraphobic.
Yes.
And so
hey, continue.
But something I realized this year was that a part of my generalized anxiety disorder gives me agoraphobia, and it's bad.
Interesting.
It's very bad. I never really thought of it much about me not going out because last year, I'm not joking, it was one weekend I'd be Friday, I'm going out with Alicia. Saturday is completely ties, and then Sunday was my ex best friend, or sometimes it'd be switched. I'd have the whole weekend with my ex best friend, and then like Tuesday when my homegirl dropped off her daughter, I'd be with her. So I was constantly going out. But then this year happened, and my friends have jobs, and we all have stuff to do.
The world's open back
So
up.
right,
Yeah.
and so I wasn't going out as much. And me and my sister were talking about this the other day, and I was like, a big reason I was even going out was because my ex best friend we called each other the let's do it friend. So it was like, if you wanted to do something, we'd wait for the other person to be free and we'd go do it. And 9 times out of 10, I was out every single weekend. So when that friendship ended and the new year happened, I wasn't really going out much. And especially living in third ward, you live third ward, living in Houston. Houston isn't a walkable city. Okay, where my mom and my sisters live in
Not
Maryland,
at
it's
all.
walkable because it's East Coast, so it's
Yeah.
easier to walk over there. But in Houston, baby, the closest Starbucks to me would take me an hour and 30 minutes to get to. Like, and that's even in living in a white neighborhood. You still might be walking a grip to get to a
Yeah,
Starbucks.
we all know I live in the very Caucasian area. I ain't walking to Starbucks.
Exactly. So it's not, and then like the metro ghetto, like it's too much.
Girl.
And so it got to the point where, and because my whole thing is, I'm not scared of my neighborhood. I'm not scared to go out and explore it, but it's like getting me to get up, get dressed, and get to the point of, let me get on the bus, let me get on the metro, let me call the Uber. Because once I call the Uber, once I'm on the bus, it's fine. But it's the me getting out of bed or me taking off my pajamas, getting ready, but it's that like anxiety about what could possibly happen, which is why I said it's in connection with my generalized anxiety disorder, because GAD is literally just you making up all these scenarios of what could happen once you're about to do something. So me getting, like, if I just walk out the door and go in the Uber, I'm fine. But getting to the point where I'm like
Getting to that
getting
point.
dressed, yeah, it's really, really hard.
Really, really.
So
You
I've
know,
been working with myself to do it more. It don't help that I'm broke, so can't really do shit anyway. But there's a lot of free stuff to do in Houston. So I've been trying to do more stuff. This is not me, asking anyone to dox me and try to come kill me, but doing stuff myself.
Right. And I mean, I
And
think when you have that loss of like that person that you always depended on to do stuff with and you don't have that anymore, it makes it very difficult to then switch over to now all of a sudden doing stuff on your own.
And what's interesting is when we were friends, I did stuff for myself all the time. Like, and it wasn't like I wasn't still having that anxiety, but it wasn't as bad. Like, I would just, sometimes my friends would text me and be like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm at La Madeleine." And I'm like, "With who?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm by myself." And they're like, "By yourself?" I'm just like, "Oh, baby, I like being alone. Like, please." But it's getting to the point now, which I think is a mixture of the pandemic and my pre-existing anxiety, because in 2020, I was stuck in the house against my will. It was one thing if I was stuck in the house for my free will, but like, you're now in the house against your will. Like, you can't do anything because nothing is open. But now everything is open, especially in Texas. So it's just like, I don't know. I've been working with myself to get better at getting to a place where I can go outside and have some fun. Last week, I did go run errands because I've been putting it off, and my room and my life was definitely not doing well because I was putting this off. So I went and did some errands, and I was kind of proud of myself. We'll see if I do it again. But it's the holidays, and Houston get real ghetto during the holidays.
I think I can kind of piggyback off of Troy.
Okay.
In the sense of, I have found this, I'm considering 2022 to be more of a transitional year than what people are actually trying to say that it is, because the last 2 years have been more of a confinement, whereas this year it's me trying to adjust to what normal is again.
Yeah.
But this normal
It's not
does not fit the schedules that I've been operating under for sanity for the past 2 years. And I am not a person that functions well outside of routine. So now I'm trying to readjust to, going back into the office every day. But also like working out. But also like now apparently I have to be a human outside of my home. But also I need to make sure that I clean my house at all times. But also like I need to budget now because before I had a little bit of extra chump change because I wasn't doing shit.
Yeah.
But now everybody want to go out to eat because don't nobody want to cook no more. So like budgeting is budgeting. And I feel anxiety for so many different reasons, things I will never discuss on fucking YouTube because that business will never be on Lipstick Alley. But like in general, I just feel I have learned some things about myself that explain my behaviors and that explain why I'm not adjusting very well. And it just makes like so much sense where I have clarity, but I don't have answers. And so now I'm just out here just testing my hypothesis and like seeing how I react. I've been overwhelmed multiple times where I've left spaces and gone home because it's just been too much.
Yeah.
And it's like, God damn, like, did I do this before? Like, is this also a new thing that I have to consider?
I definitely think that. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead.
Oh, no, you're fine. Honestly, it keeps breaking up because I'm on my phone, so I can't tell sometimes who's talking.
That's fair.
I was just going to say that I think the extreme high levels of collective anxiety that the world went through for a year plus, I do not think that, I think we have underestimated the effects that had on all of us.
Yeah.
I really do think
the world makes you think that you're supposed to just jump right back in. And it's like, how the fuck am I supposed to do that?
Especially because everything's different now. Like nothing's the same. Like it's just so weird sometimes to be out and about and be like, oh, that place isn't there anymore. They must have closed during the pandemic. Or like go somewhere and it's like everything's different. Like customer service is shitty now. A lot of places are understaffed. A lot of workers just don't give a shit anymore ever since the pandemic because they didn't like their job.
Yeah, but I don't necessarily blame them. And it's quite funny to watch these big corporations try to act like, oh, they just don't want to work. It's like, no, they're actually tired of being broke.
Exactly.
But here's the thing. I feel like on one hand, I'm like, oh my gosh, yes, I support them. On the other hand, it's annoying when you're the one on the other end of it.
Well, yes.
You can feel their lack of care. Like when you call customer service places now, it's so hard to get help. Or when you go out to eat, like the service is just not what it used to be. Or when you walk into a store and you can't find a worker to help you because they don't have workers. Like I support what they're doing in that sense of like, they're making it a workers market where they're like, look, pay us what we're worth or we're walking or we're not going to do these jobs. So I support it in that sense. But from when you're on the flip side, trying to get the customer service help, trying to get your waiter to notice you, trying to like get somebody to get something off the top shelf at Walmart, then all of a sudden you're like, holy shit. like the world is so different. And so there's always little reminders every day, like for real. Like I think I was at Sam's Club trying to check out and the guy, it was a guy cashier, was having a full-blown conversation with his coworker about the night before and how they'd gone to this party. And there's legitimately a line of people waiting to check out. And we're all looking at each other like, is this for real? And he just has no care in the world. And then he's just like, oh, hold on. I'll be with y'all in a second. Hold on. And I'm like, like this would have never happened before the pandemic. And I get it. He's probably not being paid enough. He doesn't care. Maybe they called him in on his day off. Like I understand what it could be, but I'm still
you trying to get home.
So it's just those reminders like every day where I'm like, the world has changed.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I was gonna say something else, but that's like severely inappropriate. So I'm gonna text y'all that later.
Oh, Lord.
That's why I wasn't saying anything. I thought Brittany wanted to say something.
Nope. Go ahead and say it.
Oh, that's
Well, I'm looking forward to that text message.
right. But
Oh.
oh, sorry. I'm like, my sister must call me and text me like 70 times a day.
Oh,
It's okay. My sister's FaceTiming me right now, and they told me to stop sending them the voicemail. I'm like, I am literally doing a podcast. They're like,
My
why did you just
sister
say that? Why do
call
I have to
like
explain it?
I don't get it. Like, and it's always little sisters too. I just be like, bro, leave me alone.
Every time.
Because my older sister don't call me, so I'll just be like, come on now, just and she don't want nothing.
Never.
Having sisters sounds so fun.
I don't know about all that. Hope that was sarcasm.
Yeah, strong sarcasm.
Oh, okay.
Listen, love my sisters to death, but I would trade them.
You know what? Speaking of siblings, did you guys see that? I don't know, either on TikTok or on Twitter. It's the I'm pretty sure they're Persian. They're like 3 Persian siblings, and the sister surprises the brothers coming home from college. They haven't seen her in a minute.
Oh my gosh. That
seen
was the sweetest sibling video
somebody put
ever.
somebody put I would sell my brother for protein powder.
What?
But that person that wrote that probably has the best relationship with their siblings.
No, I was literally thinking to myself, because I was just like, no, because my brothers will go like a year and not see me, and they live down the street.
Wait, what?
Oh yeah, like my brothers, we all live within like 3 to 4 minutes of each other. I don't see them.
Wait, what?
No, I'll see them like for special occasions, like if it's someone's birthday.
How is that even possible? They live down the street from you.
What we gotta see each other for?
Oh my God, Troy.
No, I'm serious. Like, what are we supposed to do?
That is hilarious. Maybe it's because my brothers don't live anywhere near me, but whenever they're in town, we all hang out. We'll go to a bar and like get drinks and like catch up. Or
literally, when I got back from Maryland after 7 months of being gone, my brother came over to because we have a newer shower in my grandma's house, so he likes to come here to take a shower, and he came over. He gonna say, "Hey, Troy, what's up?" and then goes to the bathroom.
like just casual,
like, oh no, Biggie, I've just been gone over half the year. Like, no, but I brought it up to say is that sibling relationships are all so different sometimes, because people were saying that they were too close,
which is so weird to me.
Which is so weird to me. I'm just like, because they were, and she was calling them her baby, so she probably is
basically what that means is she's at least 6 or 7 years older.
Yeah, and probably took a lot.
Yeah, I call my little brother my baby all the time. We're 9 years apart. I basically raised him.
Exactly.
And I'm just like, you guys just sexualize everything. Y'all are some weirdos.
I call my little sisters my babies, and they accept it.
Yeah, I call both of the Hood twins. I call them both my babies.
Yeah.
See, I don't think it's odd at all. It's normal to me.
Is that a POC thing? Well, is that a healthy POC thing? Because
it's probably a healthy POC thing, because a lot of them people were Black people saying that they couldn't get it.
Yeah, because I mean, a lot of people call my family the Cosbys, and I just laugh because I'm like, that says more about you than it does me, but go off.
Wait, is it an insult?
Well, not really, but usually when people are calling my family the Cosbys, it's like for example, y'all know my mama extra when it comes to Christmas. Yes. Every year she asks that we get together for Christmas. It's the only time of the year that she asks for all of us to be together. So we kind of make it our mission to like give my mama what she wants. But my mama is extra. And obviously it's rubbed off on me and it's rubbed off on my sisters. My sisters are hosting Christmas this year, and it is a Grinch themed Christmas. She's already got the Christmas tree Grinched out. Yes. My mother and her have joined together, and my mom, apparently we're having the reindeer games. Which according to my mom is just a bunch of Christmas themed games that she's made up. And not only will I be there, but my best friend that lives in Atlanta, shout out to Diamond, my mom basically told her, this isn't a request. You'll be there for dinner. Oh my gosh. And people be like, well, y'all know y'all the Cosbys. Y'all got matching outfits too. I was like, yeah, 4 different pairs of pajamas.
But I think that a lot of people just aren't that close to their families in that way.
It's kind of heartbreaking because it's kind of fun.
You know what? The weird one I always get is like I call my mom mama, but I call my dad like I don't call him dad, and even unless I'm talking about him in third person. So if he's not around, and I'm not talking to my family, then I'll say, "Oh no, my dad did it," or "My dad's doing that," or something like that. But if people know him, I'll be like, "Oh, daddy's upstairs," or something like that. But
Oh my God, the way people freak out because I call my dad daddy, I was like,
so
stop.
like I'm just like I'm not sexualizing my father. That's just what I call him. I can't
But
think.
that's his name.
That's his name. I don't know what else to call. I'm
Bro, we used to call my dad Daddy-O. Okay, I've actually transitioned from calling him Daddy-O to Daddy. Y'all better be happy.
But I'm like, that's literally what you learn when you're like learning how to talk is to call your dad daddy. So
and also, I'm from the South. I don't know what else to call him. The only other thing that sometimes we call him, which we try not to, because my oldest nephew has now started calling him that, and he wants to whoop his ass every time he hears it. Is we call him Pops sometimes.
Oh yeah, my
So
brother has started calling my dad Pops,
and
but
Roy will be like, "Hey, Pops."
oh
Daddy.
no.
My dad be like, "Royal."
oh no.
Go
What's wrong with
go
Pops
from beeper.
though?
Huh?
What's wrong
Pops
with it?
is I feel like Pops is older.
Yeah, it typically older kids would call their,
Especially boys.
yeah,
Like
and
my dad and my brother, like my brother, my cousins, they started calling my dad and my uncle Pops, but like everybody or all the men in my family call my granddad Pops.
mhm.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Like
like
a
it's,
rite of passage, like you're old enough now to be called Pop.
Yeah, like Pops coming from the mouth of like a 7-year-old. No, sir.
yeah, because you want to some respect, some level of respect, and
Yeah.
he understands it as we're calling him Pops. He's 7. He knows what he's saying because he smiles when he does it. Because he'll go from Papa, then he'll think about it. And he'll go, "Hey, Pops," or he'll be like, "Hey, Pops, what's up?" And because that's how John Elijah talked to him, they'll be like, "What's up, Pops?" and stuff like that. And a lot of our childhood friends call my dad that. So he
Yep.
gets very irritated when we call him that. But people have a weird thing about the whole daddy term. But my whole thing about that is, you can't differentiate pillow talk from talking to your father.
Yeah, that's
Also, and this is really important, this man's sperm made me. Ain't nothing sexual about me screaming daddy because I found a spider and he's here to kill it.
I swear.
that's funny.
It's
Like
like,
people,
ugh.
But I mean, I think there's a lot that goes into it. I think there are a lot of people who don't have that great of a relationship with their father, or their father wasn't there,
I
wasn't
can see that.
around.
I
There's
can see
so
that.
much that goes into it. I mean, to the point where like not to be that person, but whenever I talk at work about my dad, I always get this weird look like, "Oh, you have a dad?"
First of all, that's because you're the only black person and they're shocked that you know who your daddy is. That's
No, that's
built-in
what I'm
racism.
saying. That like it's crazy. I'm like, okay.
but you know what? I realized most of my life, everyone assumed that my dad was in my life, right? And I never got it until I realized everyone thought I was biracial. So they were understanding it as
Oh,
Oh, they thought your daddy was white.
they
because they
did.
thought he was
Oh
white.
God.
See, that's how strong these stereotypes are, but they do.
Dang.
It's insane.
They
It's
said you're high yellow. There's no possible way your daddy could be negro.
And you know what's so funny? Being from
Uh-oh.
oh no.
I think her internet just jumped.
no, I actually
Okay,
just got
there
a
it goes.
phone call.
Oh, okay. I was
Oh,
like, oh no.
no. Go back.
It's just because it stopped at the most inopportune time.
It really did. I was like waiting for the other part of the
Me
sentence.
too.
Hello.
We're
We
here.
still here.
Sorry, I got a phone call. I think my aunt's at the door.
Would you like us to wait?
No, you guys go ahead. I don't remember what I was saying though, so y'all can go ahead.
Oh my goodness. That's funny. Well, hopefully it comes back to her, but yeah, I mean, the father thing is very interesting.
I think I'm just going to tie this all back to 2022. I just feel like there has been an extra effort we've had to make extra efforts this year to find the truly happy moments.
Yes.
Like I feel like people in the comments agree with us. Like this year's adjustments have been eye-opening for like so many different reasons. And then also like I knew that I was miserable at my job like before the pandemic. But to go to full telework for 2 years and then get pulled back into the office almost full time, like
That's such a
truly
shock.
showed me how miserable it really was.
And it must have been such a shock because you kind of found like this happy place working from
Oh, it was
home.
great. Like I had a whole schedule and like I've realized in the past couple of months that it's not actually the job that I do that's bad. Like engineering itself, like not bad at all. I'm actually going to stay in engineering. Um, but the people are
Mm.
so draining.
I feel like the people you work with are literally the worst.
They are like, and I don't know if they've gotten worse in the 2 years that I haven't seen them, or if I'm just very hyper aware. But like, I would do my work in my office here at home, be chilling, listening to music, watching TV or whatever, um, do my work, mind my business, be quiet. I'll draw, whatever. In the office, like I have to deal with inner office politics. Like, for example, my boss started coming into the office from the back of
What?
the office instead of the front like he used to. My cubicle is all the way in the back because I wanted to be close to an emergency exit that I felt like if a gunman was coming in, he wouldn't have come through that door.
Right.
That's why my cubicle is there. He started coming in from the back door to double check that I was there.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Like there's no reason for it because I've never not been there. But
Why is he doing that though?
I don't know, like it was like his micromanaging situation like got worse and I didn't realize like how terrible it was weighing on me until my therapist pointed it out because my therapist was like the stark difference between you teleworking versus you being in the office is like such an intense difference that I don't feel like your therapy is even going to progress until you get out of this.
That's crazy.
Like it's been really really bad. Plus we just finished midterms and midterms in Texas was absolute bullshit. So I got into the office with that. Also, Black Panther came out, and the Caucasians at my job who like think that they're nerds, but really they're just bigots, um, wanted to hit me up with that conversation, which caused me to almost get written up.
Wait,
So,
what happened?
well, I technically didn't say anything crazy, but okay. So basically, what had happened was
Oh Lord, here's a story.
one of my MAGA coworkers, like MAGA, I use this not even the real Confederate flag as a sign of my heritage, even though this is the flag that was created by the literal creator of the KKK. That guy, he was like, "Oh, I watched Wakanda Forever this weekend. Like it was really good, but like I just thought it was weird." Okay, why did you think it was weird? He was
No.
like, "So are we gonna keep finding all of these like hidden civilizations?" And I was like, "Well, considering that literally the only reason we found Tolakan was because colonizers were going in places they shouldn't have been, I think that's gonna be the general theme." He said colonizer was a racial slur.
It's not.
And so I asked him, "Are you specifically identifying that colonizer is for white people? Because that's not the definition of colonizer." I mean, in this particular country, yes, that's what I'm referring to. But like in general, colonizer is not a specific race. It's just a group of people.
Right.
And he's like, "Oh, um, how would you feel if I called you a racial slur?" And I was like, "You are more than welcome to say an actual racial slur to my face." But if the reaction that you are looking for is tears, you gonna get some tears, but it won't be from me.
Ooh.
And of course, not only did I shoot a racial slur, but now I'm threatening people as well. I'm saying this with quotes because, like,
Right.
he's that type of Caucasian male. And then also, he doesn't like the fact that I'm his superior.
Of course.
Like, not even really superior. I just rank higher than him in the hierarchy of, like, chain of command. So, yeah, I basically can say, like, I'm so sick and tired of being the only minority representation.
But here's the thing. I feel like he baited you, because why would he
He
start talking
baited me,
about Wakanda?
and
It's like, I'm not
not
going to talk
only
about this.
he baited me, and like I shouldn't have responded because I knew he was baiting me, but also like I wanted to reiterate that I peeped what he was doing, and I
Mhm.
can still say professionally, go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
Because it was just like, y'all don't have the same kind of energy. Like Thor 2 was fucking terrible, but you wasn't talking the same Cash Money shit then.
Yeah.
Like, it's
Th-
just
it
the
just
office
sounds
is exhausting.
It sounds exhausting, and it sounds like it's not even that you're more aware now. I think your tolerance for it is just zero. I
I
think
think it's because like they let me telework for 2 years and I didn't have to deal with I didn't have to do interpersonal office interactions. And coming back to that has been like terrible. Like I've gotten replaced on multiple projects with no explanations.
that's insane.
They just wanted they wanted my white counterpart to do it. And I was just like it was so bad. I had to do my evaluation.
Can't you report them for that?
How can I prove it? How can I prove that it's specifically based on race? How can I prove that it's because I'm a woman? And how can I prove that it's because I'm a Black woman without putting my job in jeopardy?
I see what you're saying.
So, because I got to pay bills and I can't find no sugar daddy, I can't.
I have to keep remembering that you're in Texas, because that would never fly in my state.
Right. It's like it's like on one hand, you know, like people will be like, "Oh, Brittany, you need to fight it." Yo, I got to fight it within my like I got to pay bills. So like I can't go set it off until like I can get out, because setting it off when I'm in the building, we all gonna burn together.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's like my mind has been in this place where it's like I go to it's so bad that I go to work and I stay in my cubicle and I try to be as quiet as possible to where they don't realize that I'm in my cubicle so that nobody interacts with me. Because I would rather just go no interaction than deal with actually speaking to these people.
Do you think they would interact with you though?
They do try to interact with me. Like my counterpart be trying to show me pictures of his ugly ass wife and kids.
Oh no, not ugly.
Well, he and I got into it because I had been working on this one project since COVID started. Like really, like this was my baby. And not only did I get knocked off the project, but he got put in my place.
Ooh.
But like he never told me, neither did my boss. I didn't find out till we were sitting in a meeting and they were talking about stuff and I was like, "Wait, hold on, what?" And so I looked at him and I was like, "Yo, you knew about this?" He's like, "Yeah." I was like, "You ain't tell me?" He looked me dead in my eyes and told me, "I didn't plan on telling you anything."
Wait, what?
When I tell you I almost jumped across that conference table.
But like, what? Why the hostility?
I have no, that's the thing. I have no idea. He and I have never had problems. Like, it was basically like, look, you a chemical engineer, I'm a chemical engineer. The bullshit that you've been doing to get away with him, you're not doing that with me. Because I know you're capable of doing the same stuff I'm doing. Like, ever since I had that conversation with him, we have been cool. But since I came back into the office, he has been on this whole other tip. So basically, this is my plan because I'm petty. I took all my notes from the project and I moved them off the shared drive into my personal drive. And then I created a folder that was password protected on the drive. So they're going to spend all their time trying to get into that password protected folder and it's empty. That's petty move number 1.
Ooh.
Petty move number 2 is I sent a mass email to the people we working with and the bosses. Like, if you need anything, you should contact him because he's the one who's the lead, as he was instructed by this on this day when I wasn't here. So like, I don't know what's going on anymore. And it's like, oh, I canceled all the meetings that I had set up. So they got to go back and recancel everything or reset everything.
Wow.
Good
when
for
I
you.
finally, like, I'm petty. I can do malicious compliance very well. So it's like, if this is what we're gonna do,
So you're making basically them do
better.
double. You're making them do double the work, basically.
Yeah, it's like, I don't think y'all realize that I'm actually better at this than you. So if you thought you were gonna figure out some way to get me out, like, baby, first of all, I know how to do IT shit. So like, I'm going to fuck with you. Like, I sent him a copy of our notes from our previous meetings, but in order to access the part that has my notes, you have to only be able to do it through my passcode,
which he doesn't have,
because I can't give him my passcode. That's the passcode to everything else, and that would be a breach of security. Oh my gosh, I cannot believe it.
Sorry.
Like,
I'm literally like, it's playing like a movie in my head, like him.
I have gotten so petty. Like, it's so bad that
like
I have typed out
notes and not being able to.
I typed out 2 different emails. So I have 2 different emails saved on my computer right now where I will be putting in my 2 weeks notice. I'll be putting my official 2 weeks notice into my boss when I finally get everything together and get out, right?
Yeah.
But I'm not telling my counterpart nothing. So on my last day where he realizes that I'm not going to be there, he can be like, wait, you're leaving? I actually never planned on telling you anything.
Oh,
my last word to him. Not only that, but I'm going to be reiterating it in an email where I lay out a list of all the different things that I've taken on since I knew I was probably going to get another job that I never finished. And I'm going to leave a list of all the stuff he going to have to do in my wake, but he not going to have access to any of the stuff I already did because that stuff got deleted on accident. Like, you want to play with me? Let's play, because I don't know what y'all thought y'all was here for, but like, I play better. I play harder. Like, you thought, like, it has gotten so petty. Like, my homegirls, like my engineering chat group where we talk, including the Black Caucus, which is another engineering group, but it's like it's like 20 Black engineers like throughout the states. And like, I'm telling them about everything that's going on. So I'm like telling them, and one of them was like, no, don't tell me no more. I need plausible deniability. So when they talk to me, I laugh, like, because I was like, I don't think anybody realizes that. I was like, first of all, my mama ain't raised no bitch.
Okay.
Like, I knew from the jump when I decided to be an engineer that I was going to encounter white men like you. What you didn't realize is that you were going to encounter a Black woman like me. My mother is petty empress.
Okay.
Like, it's so bad. Like, I text my brother and sisters, and my sisters be like, yes. And you know, my sister's a lawyer, so we be real slick with it. Be like, the law technically states that I need to do this. And she was like, by definition, that means this. Bet I'm gonna do everything right up to that point.
Oh,
so,
my God.
Needless to say, I'm preparing an exit.
Yes.
I don't exactly know when this exit is going to occur. We're working on getting some things in order. I'm praying that 2023 is a new moment for all of us. But when it finally happens, I'm going to tell y'all what it is, because I'm tired. I luckily I realized that I don't actually want to quit being an engineer. That's like the only upside to everything that's been going on, is that like, I actually like being an engineer is not the problem.
Yeah.
Being in this office is the fucking problem. So like, I'm going to like Angela Bassett this bitch and set it on fire as I walk out.
I know. I'm so proud of you. And honestly, the people in this office, they just sound miserable.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
And it sounds like them working from home was their version of hell because they don't enjoy their personal lives. It sounds
like their wives or their kids.
That's so sad.
I know. I don't know what that's like.
But yeah, so it's just one of those things. And obviously they're extremely racist and they're trying to act like they're not, which is really unfortunate.
It's really passive aggressive, and you know
I
I don't
hate
do that
the
very
covert
well.
racism. Like that's almost worse than outright
You know,
racism.
that is so true. Like, I actually respect an outward, like, open racist.
Me too, because it's like, okay, I know where we stand, but these people that say the underhanded slick shit, like the guy who was like, are we just gonna keep talking about, people? Basically, what he was saying is like, I'm tired of just, talking about minorities in a
Basically,
and I just want to be like, do you not understand the movie that you just watched and what it's based off of?
I was like, here I am, like, ugly snotting
Like
at
Marvel
this
has
beautiful
so
movie.
many other options for you to choose from. You didn't have to go see the movie about an African country untouched by colonization. And then
Oh, I forgot.
also,
He also didn't like Ironheart either because he felt like Tony Stark is the only Iron Man.
I
And I
mean,
was like, that's why he's called Iron Man and she's called Ironheart. They're not the same people. Go away.
that's what I mean with the covert racism, because it's like, what he's really trying to say
Yep.
underneath what he's actually saying. And that's just frustrating because I would just appreciate somebody who just came out and said, I just don't really like people of color or Black people or any other race
At this point, just be
being,
honest. Save us
being
both
censored.
time.
But then it's like when you call them out on it, when you're like, okay, so basically you only want to see white people in your movies. Then they're going to be like, oh my God, no, that's not what I'm saying. You're just like, but that is what you're saying. Like, I'm confused. Yeah, I'm not with the covert racism and the microaggressions. Like, just come out and be who you are. Just be proud. Be proud.
Yeah. It's like, I know you call me a nigga when you go home. Just say it to my face once, please.
Right. I'm just like, nobody has time to be playing these mental gymnastics when we all know what you really mean.
It's like, guys. And also, that's another thing. It's like, I don't think they realize that if I wanted to, like, I could literally hook, line, and sink them, like all of them, one at a time. Because they be volunteering all the information about their wives, their kids, all this
that's
stuff.
right. You totally
like, I know everything. Do you really want me to just send a text to your wife? I have her number for some reason.
Or you could just accidentally call her while they're saying something and have it on speaker. And
exactly. Because I do have recordings of conversations with my coworkers, as Texas is a one-party consent state, and I have been recording for 10 years.
Oh my God, Brittany.
So, like, I don't understand why they want to fuck with me. That's what I'm saying. It's like, I could literally set this place on fire, but I'm not. I just want to get out. But I mean, to be clear, I am going to be petty when I leave, but like, I'm not going to set it on fire. But I could.
You totally could. You could destroy their lives. Do they not realize
I could.
That? But for your safety, I don't want you to, because they probably know where you live.
And they could meet Samson and Delilah.
I knew you were But we want to allow Samson and Delilah to not have to be used for something like this.
Step on this property.
I know. You're like, look. Oh my goodness.
I want you to pull into my driveway. I'm going for your tires first.
You're like, this is a stand your ground state, so let's go.
That stand your ground applies to all of us.
Okay. Ooh, oh my goodness. Well, I will say, to wrap everything up, this has been a rocky year.
Woo.
But I am proud that Black Prose is still here.
And we made it.
We made it, and we're still persevering. I will say that our plans for next year, we're going to continue to be consistent with the things that we've always done, which is, our book reviews and the readathons that we really enjoy doing, like Throwback-a-thon and Naked. I think we're just going to stick with those two readathons for next year. We're not going to be adding any more. And we are going to be taking a break from the Black Book Summit for next year. We've just realized it's a lot of labor in the month of February. It's a lot of planning. It's a lot of legwork. And we kind of just want to take this next Black History Month to actually enjoy Black History Month. So we'll probably do some podcasts. We might do some fun things, but the Black Book Summit is shelved for 2023. And of course, we'll continue to have our podcasts and things like that. But just setting you guys up with your expectations, we're going to continue to be consistent with the things that we really enjoy, and not really taking on anything extra.
To answer the question in the chat, no, we have not chosen our books for next year yet, because we always seem to pick our books in December. So we actually have like a end of the year meeting that we do in December. Like we go on a break, see our families, and then we come back and we're like, okay, this is what we want to do. We need to decide what our focus was, because our focus this year was black male authors.
Yes.
So we got to decide what we're going to do next year. We do like the 4-book format that we've been doing. Which also reminds me, next Sunday, or no, this coming Sunday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we are going to be talking about Naomi season 1, the comic. This will be Black Prose's first comic. So, I'm excited.
I know. This is going to be a good one.
Yeah. But yeah, you're right. Like it's like Black History Month. It's like we know that Black History Month is the month where like Black content creators are taken like seriously, because everybody wants to pretend like they're all of a sudden about it. But also like Black History Month is still like ours. And so we want to just enjoy it. Deja says we should do Black indie books.
Huh. Something to think about.
Yeah.
I like that idea.
I actually kind of like that idea. Also, Deja, your Instagram is expensive, in the sense of like she be posting all these books coming out, and I'm like, I am not allowed to buy any books right now. No. But here we go, Deja. Happy Pub Day to insert author with pretty cover.
Very true. Yes, I have pre-ordered a few books because of it.
Yeah, I can't right now. Like we are on a hiatus. Melanin Eclectic news. The Kickstarter bags are on a boat on their way here. Yay! Finally. I just can't stress how much I'm so happy that this Kickstarter is about to be done. It's so bad that if the Kickstarter boxes arrive like a day or two before I'm supposed to go see my family, I'm bringing an extra suitcase to put all of the bags in, and we are going to have a family packing event because I want them out of my house before they're even there. Planners are going to be going out this week. The United States Postal Service is already slowed down. Just for anybody who doesn't know that already, they started slowing down mid-October this year. They've already extended all of the regular shipping at least 2 days to what the estimated shipping time is on a lot of items. So just know that by Friday, that's going to get worse. Black Friday for Melanin Eclectic will start on Thursday.
Lord.
So keep a lookout for that, because I'm going to be showing you guys some new stuff that is going to be in the shop specifically for Black Friday. And planners are going to be going out this week. I'm going to go back to cutting pages again.
Shortly.
Yeah, shortly. You have any announcements?
I do not have any announcements. No.
Okay, well, if you guys have any suggestions for books that you would like for us to consider in next year's potential lineup, leave them down below in the comments.
Yes,
so that we can take a look at them when we have our meeting. And don't forget the Read Black Challenge. You could at least have already gotten 3 of them. You could have actually gotten multiples of them. So if you did do the Read Black Challenge, please post it on Instagram, tag us, so we could see what we did, because I think the Read Black Challenge is fun. So Miss WLC Reader said, I'm gonna make a list.
Oh my goodness, that's amazing. I love it.
We already know, Vina. We already know.
I love it.
Yeah. I think that's it. I thank you guys for always being here with us.
We really appreciate the support. And we will catch y'all on Sunday for this comic review.
Yay, comics. Stay black, stay hydrated, keep smiling.
Stay petty.
Stay petty. Bye.
Bye.